Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Stephen Curry on LeBron James and Kevin Durant potentially joining the Warriors. Stephen Curry recently did a tell-all interview with the San Francisco Standard about his present and future. One of the topics brought up by the interviewer was the possibility of LeBron James and Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors, something they reportedly tried before the trade deadline. Curry simply claimed that you can never say never, but didn't expect to play with them anytime soon. As you've seen recently, this league is crazy. So you never say never. I think it's funny now because we have our Team USA picture, where all three of us are together. It's nice for a nice headline. But again, I guess everything is possible and nothing is possible all at the same time in this league. I loved my experience playing with them, for sure. But this isn't fantasy basketball either. You kind of have to be reasonable. The Golden State Warriors did make approaches towards Kevin Durant during the trade window. However, Durant turned down the opportunity, seemingly because of his strained relationship with Draymond Green during his first stint with the Warriors. Green seemingly took a shot at Durant when rumors of the failed move went viral. As for LeBron James, there were some rumors that the Lakers would be open to trading him once they pulled off a massive move sending Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Luka Doncic. With Doncic being much younger than LeBron James, the Lakers could have quickly pivoted into rebuilding around Luka in the months to come. However, the Los Angeles Lakers were adamant about keeping LeBron James and having him mentor Luka Doncic over the years to come. It is unlikely that LeBron or Durant will join the Golden State Warriors in the years to come. The salaries that three stars all earn are going to be too much for any team to reasonably build a team around. In the same article, Steve Kerr spoke about how understanding Stephen Curry is when it comes to the future of the Golden State Warriors and making sure that the franchise has a shot at rebuilding years after his departure. Kerr added that Curry is a unique superstar in that respect, as not many others would be willing to do so. I can't think of anybody who could handle a situation like this with the dignity and grace that Steph has. But he also understands the responsibility that comes from if you want to be a Warrior for life, and that's a big part of his goal for his career. He wants to be in one place, then it doesn't come without some sacrifices. If he looked at this in a more transactional matter, maybe he'd be asking those guys to do stuff, or maybe he'd be asking for a trade. But he understands the value of the relationship and being in one place forever. He watched Kobe do it and Tim Duncan and Reggie Miller. There's a lot of gratification and meaning in that. Stephen Curry wants to remain a Warrior for life, but he doesn't want it to come at the cost of competing for an NBA championship. In the same interview, Curry declared that he didn't want his final years in the NBA to end like Kobe Bryant's final years with the Lakers ended a few years ago. On how a small action expands the dynamic between Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Upon Jimmy Butler's acquisition by the Golden State Warriors, it was easy to envision him running a plethora of two-man actions with Steph Curry, given how Butler has previously shown how well he can play off of smaller teammates, both as a screener and as a ball handler. The latter is of particular note. Butler's ability to handle the ball and make sound decisions dictates that actions involving a smaller teammate screening for him in inverted pick-and-roll setups should be a regular part of the diet. Previous possessions of Butler running inverted pick-and-rolls with Kyle Lowry in Miami are evidence of such. Of course, the Golden State Warriors are no strangers to the concept of the inverted pick-and-roll, having run it plenty of times with Curry as the screener for bigger ball-handling wings such as Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins. Even Draymond Green, a unicorn when it comes to ball handling, has been a benefactor of Curry's deceivingly bone-crunching picks. It wasn't far-fetched to deduce that if Wiggins and Kuminga, who both profile similarly to Butler in terms of physical makeup but are inferior ball handlers and decision-makers, can thrive using Curry as the screener, there was reason to think that not only could Butler succeed in a similar setup, he could add more to it due to his superior ball handling, decision-making, and passing. With Wiggins' departure for South Beach and Kuminga continuing to be sidelined due to his ankle injury, the only viable candidates left for handling the ball with Curry setting the screen were Butler and Green, both notable for their low volume of three-point attempts as well as low efficiency from beyond the arc. But that did not stop the Warriors from theorizing Butler in situations that had him handle the ball with Curry setting the screen. They did not waste time in trying the action, running it as early as Butler's first game as a Warrior. The instance above was called with only theory in mind. Butler had virtually zero prep time, let alone any sort of practice, before the game against the Chicago Bulls. It was only before the next game against the Milwaukee Bucks where Butler and Curry were able to walk through a couple of inverted pick-and-roll scenarios together, with help from assistant coaches. While it's hard to deduce what exactly assistant coach Bruce Fraser is telling Butler above, Fraser pointing to the corner may have had something to do with the options Butler is presented with upon Curry setting the screen. Of course, Curry drawing attention and causing coverage confusion at the point of the screen allows for Butler to turn the corner and attack the rim. Alternatively, if too much attention comes Butler's way, he can pass the ball back to Curry on the pop, or to another teammate. NBA Insider reveals real reason why Kevin Durant didn't go back to Golden State. The Phoenix Suns continue to look like a team that is not going to make much noise once the playoffs finally do roll around, but that won't be for the want of trying by superstar Kevin Durant. Amidst all the trade talk throughout the league leading up to the deadline and which ended up including himself, Durant has remained a cool customer both on the court and when talking to the media. Then again, when you're 36 years old and just enjoying your basketball having done so much in this league, we shouldn't be surprised this is Durant's attitude to all the talk. He's seen it all, moving teams several times in the past on his own terms, so trade talk doesn't faze him. He also recently joined the 30,000 points club, getting to that accolade faster than old pal LeBron James. That's because the Golden State Warriors were rumored to be pushing for a player who won a pair of championships with them hard in the final days of the trade deadline. A deal never did happen, despite the apparent willingness of the Suns to listen to offers, with Durant again cutting a wise figure in speaking with the media on the fact he was made available at all by the franchise. Now NBA insider Shams Charania of ESPN has gone on the record as saying that the Warriors felt they had put a deal in place to actually acquire Durant. The problem? Durant himself didn't sign off on the deal, and although he doesn't have a no-trade clause like Bradley Beal, superstars still have a lot of pull in this league. Phoenix might be Devin Booker's city, but the Warriors wouldn't have wanted a player who didn't want to be there either. Worryingly from the perspective of the Suns, however, the fact they managed to get Jimmy Butler and have hit the ground running with him in place there is a problem for their own postseason ambitions. Although the idea of teaming up with Stephen Curry again probably appealed to Durant as it would anybody in the league, we already broke down why Durant was ever likely to go back to San Francisco. We know his legacy means a lot to him, and if he went back and somehow won another title it would be discredited even less than the two he already has. There's no point in looking back, at least under these current circumstances anyway, while this recent piece by Howard Beck of The Ringer gave us even more clues into Durant's way of thinking and why moving from the Valley right now isn't going to happen. He's moved into a different stage of his career, and is happy to be out there hooping with the guys that he likes to play with. That certainly includes Booker, and while the prospect of a championship in Phoenix feels as far away as ever right now, we should all still enjoy Durant's greatness while he calls the Suns home. Yes, there will be more rumors come the offseason, but his answer on this one is clear and emphatic. He didn't want to go back to the Warriors and is happy with the Suns. It really is that simple. And you, fan? What do you think of Kevin Durant's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.